Go ahead. So my name is Cyrus Farivar. I'm an American journalist from California. I currently live in Bonn, Germany, where I'm a technology journalist at Deutsche Welle English. And I am deeply in love with Estonia. I traveled to Estonia for the first time in 2005, just after I had found out that Estonia has declared the internet as a human right, and this is actually true. It's one of the few countries in the world that's done so, and if you go to Estonia, you might... Anyone been to Estonia? Any Estonians in the audience tonight? Anyone been to Estonia? All right, a few of you. Well, hopefully this will convince you to go more. Anyway, this guy, Linar Vik, was considered the father of the Estonian internet. The first time I went to Estonia in 2005, I went in the winter. You can see this kind of winter scene here. This is the Estonian Parliament building. And I discovered that there's free Wi-Fi internet everywhere you go in Estonia. Even in the Parliament, it's free, it's open to the public. And even where I come from in California, this is, not always obvious, Surely in some San Francisco cafes, places like that, you do have free Wi-Fi. But here you have it, even in a 900-year-old doorway. And, you can just use the internet wherever you are. And I just find that incredibly, incredibly fascinating and truly fantastic. You have signs like this all over the place telling you that there's free Wi-Fi in the street, in a public park, things like that. And, for me, what that means is that as someone who lives on the internet, I'm a technology journalist, that means that I can connect to whoever I need to connect to whenever I want. I can do it on the train. I can, while I'm on a commute, I can, use the internet freely anytime. I can use it on ferries. There's ferries that take you to as far as Finland, and there's free Wi-Fi the whole way. Trains to Russia, buses to Latvia, free Wi-Fi most of the time. This gentleman right here is a guy called Velio Hammer. He runs a website called wifi.ee. I encourage you to visit it later. He is considered, well, I would call him the Johnny Appleseed, if you're familiar with the American legend, the Johnny Appleseed of Wi-Fi in Estonia. He is responsible for spreading this Wi-Fi throughout the land. I went to his father's house in northeastern Estonia. Guess what? There's free Wi-Fi there. Again, this is just really blows me away that you can go from, the biggest city, which is 400,000 people, that's Tallinn, to a small farmhouse, with a sauna in the back in the middle of Estonia. You can go to Viljandi in southwestern Estonia in the middle of winter in a park, and yeah, there's free Wi-Fi. You can take out your iPhone and, check your email if you want to. So, Wi-Fi tourism, what does that mean? What I mean is, think of it like medical tourism. Think of it like, unfortunately, it does exist, sex tourism. Where I come from in California, a lot of Americans, unfortunately, don't have adequate health insurance, as you may know. Unfortunately, in Europe, or fortunately, this is not the case for you. But a lot of people go to Mexico to get dental service because, why? Because it's cheaper. So this is a website that I found. There's also technology tourism. I'm a big geek, as you hopefully have figured out by now. And when I was younger, I asked my father to drive me to One Infinite Loop in Cupertino, California, which is Apple headquarters, right? Because I grew up with Macs, and it was my dream to see where all of this kind of stuff happened. The thing is that in Estonia, all of the technology that they have, like this e-government thing, where government ministers can answer and respond to bills electronically, completely electronically, I don't have access to that as a tourist. I can visit the Parliament building and talk to people about it, but I can't actually use it. I'm not in the Estonian government. As a non-Estonian resident or citizen, I don't have one of these. I don't have an Estonian digital ID card. I don't have access to digital services. I can't vote on the internet, which Estonians can do. I can't access all of those kinds of cool things that they have. So this is my question of how do I turn what they do have, Wi-Fi, into something that can be used for tourists. Now, Outside of Estonia, a lot of you, if you're like me, you end up in situations like this, where you kind of are leeching Wi-Fi off of your neighbors, off of an office, off of a cafe that's closed, something like that. You know, and I'm constantly looking for Wi-Fi wherever I travel. Sometimes you end up at an airport where you get lucky and it's free. This is in Boise, Idaho. I've never actually been there, but I found this picture on Flickr. You know, one of my home airports, Oakland, California, does have free Wi-Fi as well, so that's good. But you know, unfortunately, that's not always the case. Where I live now in Germany, that's certainly not the case. It's not the case also at the Ghent train station in Belgium, also a place I've never been. But this is not yet anyway. But you know, as you see here, you know, they're telling you, you know, they want you to pay to use the Wi-Fi there. On the Thales, it's the same thing. If you've taken the Thales anytime recently, you have to pay for the Wi-Fi on there. Helsinki Airport, this is the worst one that I've ever seen, which is €8 for an hour. That's absurd. And it makes me so angry because, again, you can just take the ferry down to Estonia, free Wi-Fi the whole way, and then you get to Estonia, Wi-Fi the whole way. I don't understand why they're getting away with this, you know? So, what I want Estonia to do, a country that I deeply love because I've fallen in love with its technology and its history and its people, I want Estonia to use Wi-Fi as a way to spread its image out to the world and get more than just the 5 people who raised their hand to actually go visit this beautiful country that I love so much. So, if you go to Tallinn Airport and you use the free Wi-Fi there, you'll find that it's sponsored by Skype, which, as maybe some of you know, was created in Estonia by Estonian programmers. Skype's largest offices are in Tallinn, Estonia. What I want is the country of Estonia to sponsor, like this, free Wi-Fi in places like Maastricht. So you go to the Maastricht airport and you open it up and it says, hey, there's free Wi-Fi, thanks to Estonia. Come visit Estonia. That's what I would love. That's what I want. Is that so much to ask? I wrote an article for the Estonian Foreign Policy Journal talking about this, so I hope they take it to heart. I've written about Estonia and lots of other countries around the world in a book called The Internet of Elsewhere. Thank you.